Connor McDavid is the best player on the planet. Connor McDavid has done more good for this team than any player in the last 20 years. But I can't help but walk out of Game 5 going, man, they maybe needed a little bit more from him. And I think you could even say the same about Game 4 when he only had the 1 point. In Game 3, he was held off the score sheet. And the bar is so high for a player like that. So I realize it's like a little unfair at times to criticize him when he still does have 7 points through 5 games in the series. But I feel like in Game 5, the game breakers just weren't the game breakers. And Connor McDavid is the biggest game breaker.
I felt the same way. I felt the same way through this series at times, and they are putting up points. Don't get me wrong; they still are putting up points. They've been important points in the 2 wins. Draisaitl, for that matter, the overtime winner from McDavid in Game 1. But I understand what you're saying. You almost want to see them create a little bit more. We're so used to seeing Connor, even if he's kind of struggling, or maybe the puck isn't going in for him. Let's face it, he literally had to stick handle that puck in the net, which is a real positive. So you're looking for a positive. That broke, the dam, so to speak, for him. He kind of put one in the net and said, okay. But he's not that mega dangerous player. And I'll be honest, it starts with the power play. I know they created some looks, but it's really struggled too. It's had a hard time kind of scoring that goal at the appropriate time or getting into a role where you're really punishing an undisciplined play. And there was no power play goals in Game number 5 for the first time in the series. So you gotta think that if those guys are rolling, the power play becomes exponentially better because they're snapping it around. The pressure of the Florida Panthers, in my opinion, the pressure and the way they play, has really taken a toll on the psyche of Edmonton. I know that the panel talked about Kevin Kelly and they were chatting about the fact that high pressure and that tempo that Florida plays with, it's almost a double clutch every time you get the puck. You're looking, going, where am I going, instead of just making the play that's there. And I think it's made Edmonton look slower, in my opinion. It slowed them down, and that's exactly what Florida wants. So here's the thing. If you have a mentality in your mind going into a game, and I'm sure this is going to be the discussion. Yes, you want to make plays, but early on, what do you want to do? You want to get your feet moving. Get your feet moving early. You have to be the faster team here. So you have to push as hard as you can go. It's 1 game in a 5-day stretch. With travel both ways, yes, I know that. But Florida looked like the fresher, faster team in Game 5. Edmonton needs to come out. It has to be designated spots you're putting the puck, and everybody needs to know it. That forecheck needs to be on. It needs to be aggressive, and no more hope passes. You can't just throw pucks, number 1, to the net with nobody in front, and number 2, cycle that puck. Hang on to it. Let that one-on-one defense in the defensive zone come and have to manually take you off the puck. You'll draw more penalties if you're moving your feet and you're making plays, and you'll spend more time in the offensive zone. That's what they have to do. They've done it before. They have the capability of doing it. But I agree, Ty. I think, we're always going to look to Draisaitl and McDavid in these situations. It's been for so long. They've been such a dominant pairing offensively for this team. We've talked a ton about the depth in the playoffs, but when the big boys come to play and they're all world, sorry. It's their game to go grab now. I think that if they're there, everybody follows suit. I know it's putting a lot on a couple guys' shoulders, but let's face it, they're the 2 best players in the game. It's time to show up and for everybody to follow that lead.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.